Hello everyone, in this lecture we are going to learn what is refrigeration and the working principle of the vapor compression refrigeration cycle and the turn-off refrigeration. So coming to the first point, what is refrigeration? What is the definition of refrigeration? So refrigeration is a process of maintaining the substance temperature lower than the atmospheric temperature. The best example is, the substances that are kept inside the domestic refrigerator is maintained with a temperature which is lower than the atmospheric temperature. And these refrigeration have many applications in chemical industries, food processing industries, and also air conditioning industries to maintain the substance temperature below the atmospheric temperature. There are many types of refrigeration systems are available. So one of the systems is the vapor compression refrigeration system or vapor compression refrigeration cycle. The other one is the vapor absorption refrigeration system, which has two types. One is the ammonia water vapor absorption system and lithium bromide vapor absorption system. And also we do have the air refrigeration system. There are many types of refrigeration systems are available. So basically the definition of refrigeration is the process by which maintaining the substance temperature lower than the atmospheric temperature is known as the refrigeration. Now the second topic is the working principle of a vapor compression refrigeration system, which is also known as VCR system, vapor compression refrigeration system or vapor compression refrigeration cycle. So this VCR has four components, namely compressor, the second component device is the condenser, and the third one is the expansion valve or expansion device, and the fourth one is the evaporator. So let me draw the vapor compression refrigeration cycle. This is the compressor, and the second system thermal device is the condenser, the next is the expansion device, and the fourth component is the evaporator. So I will mark this condenser, it's a heat exchanger, and evaporator is also an heat exchanger, and this is the compressor, and this one is the condenser, and this is the expansion valve, and this is the evaporator. Now we are going to look at the working principle of this vapor compression refrigeration system. Now the working fluid which is used inside this vapor compression refrigeration system is a refrigerant, which has the special property which has the low boiling point Basically, in all the domestic refrigeration systems that are available, the refrigerant which is used as R134A is the refrigerant which is used in all the domestic vapor compression refrigeration systems and cycles. This R134A is nothing but HFC, hydrofluorocarbon. So this is the refrigerant which is basically used in the vapor compression refrigeration system. And in air conditioning system, the refrigerant which is used is R22. So that is HCFC is the refrigerant. Hydrochlorofluorocarbon, HCFC, is the refrigerant that is used in all the air conditioning systems, and in all the refrigerating systems, R134A, which is HFC, hydrofluorocarbon, is the refrigerant that is used. This refrigerant has a low boiling point, and even at low temperature it will become vapor. So that is the special characteristics, thermophysical properties of these refrigerants. Now let me start before the compressor. Let us assume the condition of the refrigerant as low temperature, low pressure vapor refrigerant. Let me mark the state point before compressor. The state point, let us consider it as 1, and after compressor the state point is 2, and after condenser we will assume the state point as 3, and after expansion device we will consider the state point as 4. Now we will assume the condition of the refrigerant, which is R134A, before it is entering the compressor, it has low temperature, low pressure vapor refrigerant. We will assume this condition. Now we should also note that the condenser will always be operating at a higher pressure side, and the evaporator which is always be operating at a lower pressure side. Now this low temperature, low pressure vapor refrigerant is entering into the compressor and getting compressed. We know that when compression is taking place, the pressure of the working fluid will increase. If the pressure of the working fluid increases, automatically the temperature of the working fluid will also increase. Now, so this low temperature, low pressure vapor refrigerant is entering the compressor and getting compressed. The state of the refrigerant after compressor would be high pressure, high temperature, still a vapor refrigerant, because the vapor is getting compressed. So the low pressure state will become high pressure. So once the pressure increases, automatically the temperature will also increase. So the state of the refrigerant after compressor would be high pressure, high temperature and vapor refrigerant. Now at this condition, the refrigerant is made to flow through the condenser. We all know that what is condensation. So condensation is nothing but the conversion of vapor into liquid, or the liquid becoming the vapor becoming liquid is known as the condensation. And the opposite of condensation is evaporation or vaporization. The conversion of liquid into vapor is called as vaporization. That is taking place in the evaporator, and the conversion of vapor into liquid is taking place in the condenser. So generally only the latent heat of transfer is taking place. So latent heat means phase change will happen without change in its temperature and pressure, theoretically speaking, but practically there will be decrease in pressure and decrease in temperature as well. And after condenser, because of condensation that had taken place, the state of refrigerant would be still higher pressure, higher temperature. Instead of vapor refrigerant, it will be converted as liquid refrigerant because of the condensation. Condensation means conversion of vapor into liquid. Now, I had mentioned in the beginning that the condenser will be operating at a higher pressure side, whereas the evaporator will be operating at a lower pressure side. So the high pressure refrigerant cannot be directly fed to the evaporator, which is operating at the lower pressure side. So in order to decrease the pressure of the refrigerant so that it can be directly fed into the evaporator, the expansion valve or expansion device or capillary device which is used to decrease the pressure of the refrigerant. So once the pressure decreases, automatically the temperature will also decrease. Now this high pressure, high temperature liquid refrigerant, when it is passing through the expansion device or a capillary device, there is a drastic reduction in pressure that is taking place. So the state of the refrigerant after expansion device would be low pressure, low temperature liquid refrigerant. Now it is ready to be fed into the evaporator coils because the pressure of the refrigerant has decreased. Now this evaporator is the freezer compartment in our domestic refrigerator. So you would have noticed an aluminum coil wound around the freezer compartment of the domestic refrigerator. Through those coils are called as the evaporator coils, through which the refrigerant, which is a low boiling point fluid, will be flowing through those coils. And every time when we open the refrigerator, there is certain amount of heat infiltration that is taking place. For example, if we want to take the cold water which is there inside the refrigerator, we have to open the door of the refrigerator. Because of that, there is an heat infiltration that is taking place. Basically, the room temperature will be higher than that of the temperature which is maintained inside the refrigerator. Let us assume a temperature. Inside the refrigerator, the temperature is maintained at, let us say, 12 degrees centigrade. The room temperature is 30 degrees centigrade. What will happen? We all know that the heat will be transferred from a body having higher temperature to the body having lower temperature. So every time when we open the door of the refrigerator, there will be some amount of heat leakage or heat infiltration that will enter into the refrigerator, and that will increase the temperature of the parts or components or whatever it is. It may be vegetables or fruits which is kept inside the refrigerator to increase in its temperature. But we need to maintain the temperature of 12 degrees centigrade inside the refrigerator. What we need to do is, so that is what this low temperature, low pressure and liquid refrigerant, as it passes through the coils of the evaporator, it absorbs the heat from the products that are kept inside the refrigerator. Once when it absorbs, since it is an evaporator, the evaporation is taking place and the refrigerant has a low boiling point fluid. Even when it absorbs the heat from the products that are there inside the refrigerator, the liquid refrigerant is converted into vapor refrigerant. Once the heat is absorbed inside the space, automatically the cooling effect will be produced inside the refrigerator. Now the state of refrigerant after evaporator will be low temperature, low pressure. Due to evaporation, the liquid refrigerant has converted into vapor refrigerant. So this is the condition after the evaporator. So once the heat is inside the refrigerator has been absorbed, eventually the cooling effect will be produced inside the refrigeration. That is what is the definition also says, that the refrigeration is a process of maintaining substance temperature lower than the atmospheric temperature. Now whatever condition we had assumed in the beginning, before entering into the compressor, the state of the refrigerant is low temperature, low pressure vapor refrigerant. The same has been attained after evaporator as low temperature, low pressure and vapor refrigerant. This is a cyclic process. This cycle continues. In the compression, it is getting compressed, pressure is increased and the vapor is converted into liquid, and because The evaporator is operating at lower pressure side. Using the expansion device, the pressure of the refrigerant has decreased, and as it passes through the coils of evaporator, which is inside the refrigerator, which is the freezer, it absorbs the heat and then eventually cools the space inside the refrigerator and then becomes vapor. And this is the working principle of the basic vapor compression refrigeration system. And this is the same, components are also designed and kept in the air conditioning system. It may be a window air conditioner and a split air conditioner. So we should know the difference between the window air conditioning system and a split air conditioning system. So the only difference between the window air conditioning system and a split air conditioning system is all these four components, if it is fitted in a single casing and if it is fit onto the window, it is called as window air conditioning system. And only the evaporator, the split air conditioning system, only the evaporator coil will be fit inside the room, and the remaining three components, which is compressor, condenser and expansion device, will be kept outside the room. So that is the split air conditioning system. But it has got all the same similar four components. So basically this is the working principle of the vapor compression refrigeration system. So now we have learned what is refrigeration. So once again let me state the definition of refrigeration as the process of maintaining substance temperature lower than the atmospheric temperature. For that, the vapor compression refrigeration system is used, which has four components: compressor, condenser, expansion device and the evaporator. And in order to make the cooling effect, a working fluid, which is refrigerant, that is used, which is a low boiling point fluid, which is used as the phase change fluid to absorb the heat from the components or products that are kept inside the domestic refrigerator, or to remove the heat from a room to maintain the room's temperature lower than the atmospheric temperature or to a desired temperature. So this is the working principle of a basic vapor compression refrigeration cycle. So the third topic is ton-off refrigeration. So basically this ton-off refrigeration is the terminology used by the refrigeration system design engineers in the United States. So this ton-off refrigeration system is denoted to determine the capacity, cooling capacity of the refrigeration system or an air conditioning system. So basically what is known as 1 ton of refrigeration system, otherwise what is the cooling capacity if the refrigeration system has 1 ton of refrigeration, is the heat, the amount of heat to be extracted to freeze 1000 kg of water, which is at 0 degrees centigrade, in 24 hours. Basically 1 metric ton is equal to 1000 kg. So how much amount of heat has to be extracted from 1000 kg of water at 0 degree centigrade to freeze it to become an ice in 24 hours. This is what is known as the ton-off refrigeration. Let me write the equation. 1 ton of refrigeration can be written as the amount of heat that has to be extracted from 1000 kg of water, which is maintained at 0 degree centigrade, to freeze 1000 kg of water in 24 hours is known as 1 ton of refrigeration. And for that we should also know the value of heat of fusion, that is latent heat of fusion. The latent heat of fusion of ice is known as 335 kilojoules per kg in 24 hours. Now this kg and kilograms will get cancelled. This equation can be, written as 1 ton of refrigeration can be equated to 1000 into 335 divided by 24, 1 hour. So 1 hour can be written in terms of seconds as 3600 seconds. You have in the numerator as kilojoules. So kilojoules per second, which is kilowatt. Now 1 ton of refrigeration system in terms of metric ton, we will have the cooling capacity. If you simplify this, you will get 3.87 kilowatt. This is 1 ton of metric system, because 1 metric ton is 1000 kg. But since this is denoted by the scientists or the design engineers in US, 1 US ton is equated as 907 kg. So if I replace, instead of metric ton, if I substitute US ton, it will be 907 kg. We will have the value as 3.5 kilowatt. So to have the generalized terminology, to use the generalized terminology for defining the cooling capacity of the refrigeration system, worldwide it is considered to be 1 ton of refrigeration system is known as 3.5 kilowatt. That means you can also write it in terms of joules per second, which is or 3500 joules per second, which is watts. So this much amount of energy per second to be removed for converting or freezing 1000 kg or 907 kg of water, which is at 0 degree centigrade, in 24 hours is the ton of refrigeration, which denotes the cooling capacity of the refrigeration system. So I think in this class we have learnt what is refrigeration and the working principle of the vapor compression refrigeration system, and what is the real meaning of ton of refrigeration system in terms of metric ton and also in terms of the US ton. So 1 ton of refrigeration system is globally accepted as 3.5 kilowatt. So I hope all of you have understood all these topics, whatever we have learnt in this class. So probably in the next lecture we will be learning how to draw the temperature entropy diagram and the pressure enthalpy diagram of this vapor compression refrigeration cycle, and also we will be solving a numerical example in the next lecture. Thank you everyone.